The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great weekend, safe weekend. And, of course, let's make it a great week. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Create new agreements based on respect and love. Take the responsibility to make new agreements with those you love. If an agreement doesn't work, change the agreement and create a new one. Use your imagination to explore all the possibilities. Bottom line, folks, when an agreement doesn't work with your loved one, make a new one. It's up to both of you. That's it. That's the bottom line. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 100, NASDAQ off 32, S&P's off 14, gold contract down $3.50, trading at $1,594 an ounce. Silver down 90 cents at $28.77 an ounce. Platinum off 12 bucks at $1,407 an ounce. Copper down 3.5 pennies at $3.29 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $93.78 a barrel. Bonds up almost a point, trading at 146.05. Dollar index, King Dollar up 8 ticks at 80.92. Euro down 49 ticks at 129.97, and the yen up 28 at 78.04. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Okay. First off, can't hold the swing points from the 14th. Now, the 14th, folks, December 14th, that is, okay, we did 929 million shares. Big deal, right? Well, today we only did 774. So that swing point, you take that swing point out, small swing point, so it's not an ABC structure on the way down. What are we going into? Well, we're going into the day of strength, which was on November 30th. So we're doing 746 million into that with 1.666 billion. You're at 1205. Bottom line is that what you have here is that, number one, the 1196.72 more than likely is going to get hit. We hit to 12012 today. Now, what this also sets up is that it doesn't necessarily have to stop there. It can go right down to the bottom of the consolidation, 1158, and what's game there is 1125. Now, the wild thing is that you absolutely still have the 27th of October out there at 1292, and you are coming in with dramatically lighter volume. So what that means is that you're not going to be able, they can bust it down a few more days getting it into that price, but that means that actual high of the 27th is still game at that 1292. We go to the Dow Industrials. We look at the Dow Industrials. Same setup in the Dow. What you have with the Dow, you got under the swing point. The small swing point out there was 11,786. You close 11,766. What are you coming into? Well, you're into the day of October 30th, well into it. The bottom of that is 11,559. We're at 11,766. We did 746 million versus 1.6 billion. That's the downside. Of course, you get the swing point from the 25th, but she still wants to get up into this 12,284 level. NASDAQ. We go to the NASDAQ composite. You look at the composite. What does the composite do? Same deal. Now, the composite is trading at 25.35. 25.55 was the swing point from the 14th. When you take a look at that swing point, what we did, 14th did 1.8 billion. Today do 1.5. So what does that mean? That means that it's not an ABC down, meaning a small ABC down inside. We know we have a much larger ABC. Well, it looks like we have a much larger ABC that wants to go a lot lower. But what I expect still is that you are whether we're going to go test this 2477 level. Well, on the 30th, it was the 2542 was the high, 2508 was the low. So we're already at 2523. So that's saying you're already into that bar, so that means we can go to the bottom of it. More than likely, what you're going to probably see is go to the bottom of the swing point of the 25th. Now, what's still game is October 27th, which is 2753. Let's go through we'll do the SPY next. You take a look at the SPY. So what does the SPY do? The SPY does 175 million shares. You're coming into 323. We do the Qs. You take a look at the Qs, what the Qs have done. The Qs have done 45 million, and you got under the 64. You're coming into 46 million. Diamonds, if we take a look at the diamonds, what the diamonds did. What the diamonds did out here, we did 7.9 million, and that we are at 117.36. That blew away the 11 million. You know, bottom line is that these also do want to get lower. And on the diamonds, you still have that high on the 27th of 122.58 that wants to get hit. Now, let's go take a look at the bond market out here, because what we have, bonds today, USH2, what bonds have done, bonds are coming right up to the highs. Last high out here in bonds was 146.15. We get the 146.11. We did 175,000 contracts. Now, that's not enough. Well, first off, we stopped right before the 146.15. We stopped at 146.11. So you are underneath it. But when you are actually going to break topside, you would be pushing up with about 300,000 to 400,000 contracts right now. We're only up there with the 176. So that's telling me that it's still not going to break this time. If we go look at the TLT and you want to see the correlation, the relationship, last time we were up here, you did 17 million and 25 million. Right now, what we've done today is 7 million. So you can see that's setting up for a failure. It does want to test that 125.03. We got the 124.02 today. The 124.02 got over the first high that was established on September 22nd. Closed right at it, you know, with lighter volume. But it does want to spike that level. That's the way this is set up right now. Dollar index. We take a look at the dollar index, what the King Dollar has been doing out there. She just doesn't want to back off. Or he doesn't want to back off. We did 16,000 contracts out here today. The high that is established out here, well, let's see, we're at 80.95, and you know that's in the higher range. Anything over 80.35 is in the higher range. You know, so we'll see whether she has enough juice to tag that 81.42 level. What King Dollar wants to do on the short-term basis, folks, is get to that 82.50. On a longer-term basis, what you have wide open is that 89 area, which is just a monster move. Gold, what you have with gold is this. Gold had a price spread out here today of 15.85 low, 16.11 high. We're down 320 right now. Now, gold's in tough shape. What we've had with gold is this. She came off 1760 last week, gets down to 562. Has huge volume down there. Today, basically, we did 107,000 contracts versus 300,000 at those lows. It would have been much better if gold went after the 1543 last week. See, we only got to 1562. If it got to the 1543, that would have been a decent test. It hasn't. That's problematic for the gold contract. If we go look at the GLD, what you have inside the GLD is this. GLD, we're at 154.87. The low that was established on the 26th of September was 154.19, and what we did last week is that we came into that with 42 million shares versus 43 million shares. And what that absolutely sets up is, number one, it's going to come back down, go after that level. The real question is going to be, is it going to have juice to do an ABC structure on the way down? And it's always dangerous, folks, when you come downtown with the kind of volume we did last week. You start going uptown with zero volume. Not zero volume, but 12 million shares compared to 42 million on the way down is problematic. If, in fact, we blow that low away of 151 with volume, well, watch out, because that's going to throw inside the GLD. What that does, we'll put this back on a weekly for a second, what that makes wide open is a run all the way down to the 127. The 127, by the way, folks, would be a 1250 gold, which is, yes, a mind blower. 1450 would have to be taken out, but the 127 is something that you got to keep your eye on. Now, let's go over the good old Bank of America. BAC, folks. What does BAC do out here today? Blows away $5. Does 336 million shares. Has the juice. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so it's another ABC down. 335. You're going to love this. 333 to 335. Okay, so check this out. So you get 734. You get $2.35. Oh, she's coming at it. This is just amazing. So 235 gives you 370. You know, if we bring this baby back, which you're going to see, this is just unbelievable, actually. But this thing is going down there. The low that was on BAC was 253. One of those highs out there was 320. The bottom line is that, you know, she's going down after these lows. And that's pretty intense. There's no two ways about that. And more than likely what that has to do with, of course, is that BAC has made a crucial mistake by not going out when the stock was $15 and $10 and pushing more stock out and capitalizing themselves. Now what's going to happen is that there's new Fed rules that are going to come into place this week. They figure at one point the market and the bankers were trying to make it that they would not be as tough as even Basel international rules. Well, the bottom line, the Fed kind of came out here today and said that, well, they're going to be basically a copy of them. If that's the case, what's going to happen, folks, the large banks are going to have to go raise more money ASAP. And that's why Bank of America is down in a big way. Now, inside Bank of America, which is just let's go over to Citigroup for a second. We take a look at Citigroup. Citigroup down $1.21 today. You're at $24. Citigroup is going to be going after this 21.40 low. Right now you're at 24.82. And the key with Citigroup, if we go back to Bank of America a second, if you want to see, just how risk is still, these banks, folks, they continue to play high-risk games because they know if they're right, they'll get the money. If they're wrong, they're going to get bailed out. And if you want to see something just absolutely amazing, is that, the last quarter, folks, the quarter that started in June and ended in September, Citigroup was the biggest buyer of Bank of America. They bought 145,555,330 shares. Well, let me tell you something. That's probably $1 billion loss right now. Big time. Tom O'Brien, TFNN. Come right back, folks.